I have to admit I was shocked when I saw this today because of how bullish you've been on Uber.
Yeah.
You sold it.
Listen, you know, let me say at the start, Dara has been an incredible CEO at Uber. He's dramatically increased the free cash flow. He's increased the competitive, position of that company. They're the dominant leader now in global mobility. We love the company, and it's inexpensive. However, leading up to the election, right, we have been taking down our position size, and we've been rotating into Tesla. Why? Because I said before, we had a ChatGPT moment around full self-driving in 2024. I think the year of 2025 is going to be about robotaxi. We were present at the robotaxi day. We were impressed by the robotaxi. And so for Uber, they have to get past this moment, right, where, they have a hugely disruptive force coming in the case of Tesla. And now we know that the Trump administration is going to push, right, for a national regulatory change so that will be good for Waymo and good for Tesla. Now, Uber has a solution to this, right? They have Waymos on their platform, but we just want to see it play out. We want to see a few more months of this playing out. So, again, it comes back to portfolio management. For us, the optics, right? And certainly right after the election, we bought more Tesla and we rotated out of our remaining Uber because we think the optics are going to be really tough for Uber over the course of the next few months. And they're going to be really good for Tesla as we get closer and closer to the launch of robotaxi, which we think will be Q2 of next year.
This feels to me like, the goalposts moved.
Yeah.
Musk's proximity to power, that dynamic has changed. He is becoming quite obvious, a very influential voice in some of the policies that are going to happen, whether they are beneficial to him personally or beneficial to his companies, plural, because I think you could make that argument. That's what this strikes me as, is the goalposts moving in some respects to favor Tesla and in some respects hurt the competitors.
No, I would disagree with that. I think the
regulations that we said of ending the EV tax credits, easing the self-driving regulations, those are undeniable.
But if they change the regulations, but FSD wasn't killing it the way 12.5 is and the way FSD 13 is going, where you have 1,000x improvement in full self-driving safety in 1 year alone versus the 10% per year we were getting up until 2020 because we've gone from these deterministic models to these imitation learning models. It's about the performance at Tesla that is driving us. Now, sure, I think national regulation makes sense. In a country of interstate commerce, does it make sense that one state's going to allow me to drive my Tesla on full self-driving mode? Then I get to the state intersection between Texas and Oklahoma, and I no longer can use full self-driving. I have to stop the car and change the mode of driving. That doesn't make any sense, right? We drive cars across state borders. So having a national regulatory framework, not just for Tesla, for everybody, for GM, for Waymo, for everybody, that's just the right policy. I don't think it's about favoring Musk or his companies, though I think regulatory clarity is needed in this country. But I look at it, it's the improvements that are going on in Tesla. And I think, 18 months ago, nobody would have said that this was winner take all or winner take most. They would have said everybody's going to have full self-driving capabilities. I will tell you right now, Tesla is running away with their full self-driving capabilities. The only other game in town really is Waymo.
So, Josh, I want your take on this because Uber's a large position for you. And, I don't recall you being as bullish on the Tesla FSD event as Brad certainly seems to have been. What's your take on him selling the stock here? I was just shocked, to be honest with you, when I heard about that move.
Brad's made a lot of money in the stock, and I completely understand his point. We're right now in this kind of gray area moment where it's unclear how the onset of AVs is actually going to play out. I want to say Silicon Valley is probably one of the greatest resources, natural resources, I would call it, we have in America. The people who live there, the people who risk capital, the people who invent things there have just done incredible things for this country. But as a East Coaster, as a Wall Streeter, I also want to point out the blind spot. They very oftentimes think that things are going to happen tomorrow that may not happen for 10 years. They have to think that way. It's endemic to the species, and thank God somebody does. Here in New York, we think more immediate. We think more cash flows. We don't think so much about what's going to change. We think about what's not going to change, and that's a little bit more of a New York mentality. And I will tell you what won't change. Most internet marketplaces are demand aggregators. That's how you win. In my view, the way this will all play out, Tesla's autonomous vehicles and cabs will be phenomenally successful, as will Waymo's, as will probably 2 or 3 other large-scale providers, because there are apps that will aggregate demand between all of them. I find it very hard to believe that you're going to have 10,000 Tesla full self-driving cabs on the street, and that's going to upend a company that has over 100 million users on their platform. The more likely scenario from where I sit, and again, I could be wrong too, the more likely scenario is that Uber is going to aggregate demand amongst all of the various players that have different types of autonomous vehicles on the road. The consumer is going to want one-stop shopping, not, hey, this time I want a 2-door. That time I want maybe a moped. This app I'll go to because I want this. I don't think it's going to play out that way, and I think Uber is going to be the central demand aggregator, and that's the bet that I'm willing to make. Now, the stock might be volatile, and Brad might look right in the short term as Elon consolidates power and convinces Trump to push for things that benefit FSD. I won't deny that. The thing is, I'm willing to sit through it because I think the bigger story here has yet to play out.
Yeah, real quickly, Josh, I love the way Josh framed that. I think it's brilliant framing. To be clear, we were the biggest defenders of this stock from $15 to $80. We sold the stock much higher than the stock is at today, right? And I reserve the right. I may be buying this stock tomorrow or in a month or in 2 months. I just thought that the optics were going to be really challenging as we move into the launch of robotaxi, which I think will occur next year. And this is not about regulatory capture. This is about the full self-driving capabilities, about FSD 13 at Tesla. Without that, there would be no investment going on in Tesla. People are excited about what they see with Optimus, what they see with full self-driving, what they see with the inexpensive cars they're putting on the road.